Hello and welcome back to another part of Mario Luigi Superstar Saga 4 of a Nintendo 3DS. Today's episode, just before we start here, is completely post-commentary due to an audio file corruption with my commentary. So I've edited the video down from what I feel like is appropriate for what I wanted to be in the episode, and I'm just going to kind of talk over the footage. This audio commentary recording is going to be completely in one take. So if there's any oddities in the commentary, then you know why. So in today's episode, we're going to be moving up to Belletta's castle, which is like the last area in the game. It's kind of the final segment of the game in the main quest. Immediately after that, I think when we're done with the game, we're going to be doing a menu quest. I'm not sure how long it is. I haven't really looked into it yet. But I'm going to be doing bits of menu quests just to kind of get out of the way, and it's something I wanted to play also, but it's also something that is going to take a little bit more time than I had originally anticipated with this game. But I did basically delay a few episodes throughout the week, and I should technically, considering there's only this episode and one more after it left in the series, that I should have been done with it at this point. But the town here has been attacked by Belletta. She's basically just raining hell down on the Beaming Kingdom. Well, more like the castle grounds and whatever else, but still. I've trimmed out stuff like shopping and everything else from this episode, so you don't have to see me sit around on a menu for forever. And this episode itself actually had a few technical difficulties at first. I went to record this episode last night, and I had a glass of water sitting on my desk next to my 3DS, and I went to go make dinner, and I came back and my glass of water was all over my desk, knocked over by my cat, and I was sitting there panicking about my 3DS. So I disconnected everything, I cleaned it up. It looked fine before I disconnected it in terms of the capture software. It was still up on the screen and whatever else, but then a few hours later, I hooked everything back up after I felt like maybe it would have dried all the liquid and stuff like that now, and I hooked it back up. Everything seemed fine at first, and then the video disappeared, and then I disconnected it all again, had to dry it off again, shut off my computer, shut off the 3DS, turned everything back on, hoping that, some form of life would come out of the 3DS. Capture card is basically a hard mod into the 3DS itself. It is not just a thing that you plug into it. It's attached to the 3DS. So I was sitting there worrying about water damage to the thing for a good, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. And I hooked it all back in after I tried it off further, and the game came up. It looked fine. I left it in the title screen for a good, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. But then the video and the audio started to go crazy, and I was like, oh no, please don't tell me it's damaged. If you've never looked into a 3DS capture card before, they're expensive pieces of hardware to get done, especially if you want them done right. I think there's technically 2 people that make them, but there's also a European distributor from the person that I trust. And the person that I trust, his name is Whoopi. If you go to 3dscapture.com, you're able to see his offering in terms of price and stuff like that for a 3DS capture card. I was the 3rd ever person, well, either 2nd or 3rd, I don't really know the order of what one he sent out, but ever got one given to them. I'm pretty sure I'm the 2nd order and the 3rd person who received it because of distance. So me, a guy called Sillypone, so you may all know, and Chris from We Rate to Play, who's not with We Rate to Play anymore. All 3 of us have been friends for about, I don't know, about 5-6 years now. And Neil is someone, Whoopi is someone that I knew personally away from all of this. And I knew he was making this thing, and then one day he pretty much confirmed that he was almost done with it. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night to a text message, an iMessage from Sully, basically telling me that he'd been in touch with Neil and he was gonna buy one from him. And I was like, alright, okay. So I replied to Sully. We spoke on Skype for a good 30 minutes after that, maybe an hour, maybe, I don't know what time of night it was, but I was pretty exhausted. And I mailed Neil, who is in Utah, I believe he's in Utah. I'm pretty sure he is. I can't remember if he moved, but I think he was in Utah at the time anyway. And his time zone was basically like 7 hours behind where I was, so it was still like, you know, early night for him. And he replied to my mail and basically said that he would give me one also for basically roughly around the same price. He actually gave me a cheaper rate than what Sully got in the end, and cheaper than what he actually sells them for now because we're friends. We knew each other from before. But Neil, like, is someone that I basically didn't want to bother with the hassle of being like, hey, my cat has destroyed my capture card, please fix it. And when we like finished recording and stuff like that, I was freaking out about it because I've got a lot of plans to record a lot of games for the rest of the year. We're going to be playing the Kirby game. Also, never use fire attacks on these guys. The Gunner guys and the Hammer Bro, never use fire attacks on them. Because it just heals them. I've found that out the hard way. I can remember if it did or didn't when I did this. But we're going to be going through Mario Party Top 100. We're going to be going through probably the new Pokemon game. But I'm not 100% sure on it as to whether or not I'll do it yet, because it's sketchy in terms of like the audience that comes with a Pokemon game. They're really elitist, and the people that record the Pokemon games, other than Munching Orange and Hoodlums Crafty, from what I know, the ones that I have encountered, they can be quite aggressive towards new people if they're not big fans. But then again, I've only really ever encountered 3 Pokemon, maybe 4 Pokemon like YouTubers, and only one of them was aggressive, and I guess it kind of puts me off things, I suppose, in some ways. But I might record it because I haven't played a Pokemon game since 4th generation, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which when I was growing up, the original Gold and Silver were some of my favorite like Pokemon games like ever. Like I played Ruby and Sapphire also, and I just didn't really like them as much. But yeah, that's basically the plan. I think we're going to be playing the Kirby game when it comes out at the start of November. November is going to be a really busy month for me. A lot of stuff comes out right around the same time as each other. There's like a week between Kirby and a week between Kirby and Mario Party, and it's ridiculous in terms of like, you know, what's coming out. And Odyssey comes out a week before that. So it's like I need to like blitz through a lot of games in a short period of time. Maybe I'm taking on a bit too much from like myself here, but it'll be kind of hard. With Mario Party, I don't even know if there's like a main board game iteration of it or not. But I plan to show all the minigames at least. I'm looking forward to playing it just because a lot of the minigames in there are ones that I'm familiar with from what I talked about in a previous video, where me and my friends, we would play all the Mario Parties from 1 to 7 on emulator with each other, and it was fun. Like we went through all of them, and we played 2 a lot back in 2014 online. 2 is probably the best Mario Party game ever made. If you want to like worry about the Koopa there, don't really. All he does is really switch around your stats, and you just have to pay attention to what bro is stronger. Currently Mario is stronger, so I'm going to be attacking with him all given time. So we're going to be doing a bros attack whenever I actually decide in the game to do it. I think I do a bros attack, I'm pretty sure. Like, I think this is where I was talking about the, you know, the like stat switching stuff. It's kind of weird to watch footage where you know you did commentary over it, and like there's obviously pauses in the game where you're clearly talking about something, and we do this attack here to make the item come out of the Koopa. I think this one is he Lemmy Koopa? I can never remember which one is the first one. Whenever Luigi actually does his attack, we'll find out. Actually, maybe not, because of, yeah, when you do this burst attack, it indicates that it's all, even if there's only one enemy on the screen, which is a bit silly, really. But we did that to lower his defense down, so we can actually do more additional damage here. If you actually hit this, see I'm like a second late every time I try to do the counter hit swing. You do a lot of damage, and you can actually like finish him off here if you're ridiculously overpowered at this point of the game, without him doing a second stat switch, I believe anyway. He doesn't have that much health, he just has enough. He's in rage mode already, and we're gonna see here that I'm just gonna do super. We're just gonna do swing bros. It's Iggy Koopa, not Lemmy Koopa. The Koopa wings, they've changed so much over time. If you go back to the Super Mario World game, the way that they're portrayed in their 16-bit format, it's really different to how they look now. And especially if you go back to Mario 3, then they look really different also. But yeah, I might be taking on a little bit too much towards the end of the year, but I really want to give this channel a shot. I'm not gonna like half-ass the rest of the remainder of like the full year that I kind of want to give this channel. So this game is the first game that I've done. I'm talking from like an analytical point of view, I guess, here. And from a purely analytical point of view, it's basically giving me 248 subscribers, something like that, and 40-something thousand video views, which from a channel that had nothing to begin with, without really any help from my part. Like, I didn't promote it in my old channel or anything of the sort. I just kind of chucked up a video and it grew. It's kind of impressive to me that like a channel can even still do that when it's related to gaming, because gaming is a hard YouTube environment to get into nowadays. There's so many people that do it, and a lot of people just do it for like a quick kind of cash grab, or at least they used to. But they kind of like, it's kind of died down a little bit with the adpocalypse, if you've heard about it, where videos basically don't make as much money as they used to. And it's probably a good thing, if anything. It weeds out a lot of the people that don't care about games. And there's a lot of them, if you don't already know that. I'm sure a lot of you that watch gaming videos already know that, but there is quite a lot of them that are just like fully cash-orientated channels. Magic Koopa here, he's a completely different like sort of enemy, and it's strange that like he does the vertical firewall hoop rings instead of the horizontal ones. I kept expecting him to do the horizontal ones, but he never actually did. Also, I kind of got chained into multiple battles here. I left this battle in here originally in my editing suite because I felt like I didn't show a hammer bro, but it turned out I did. But if you actually land on the gunner guys to initiate the battle here, you can kill them off relatively quickly. The shy guys will make a little bit of an attempt here to use the little gunner guy friend to like attack us. Imagine being a gunner guy. Imagine having like a nose that big that is like 3 times the size of your body. But like you need, well, it's like pegs at the end of the cannon to hold your face up, just so you can, you know, sit there and live, and your shy guy friends can make you attack the Mario Bros. Or whoever your primary target enemy is at a given point in time. But yeah, I haven't fully decided in terms of like what we're actually going to be doing with the video content of all of this here on the channel. Obviously Mario Luigi will come to an end pretty shortly here, and then immediately after that, I originally thought that this game would take me up to the end of October, but it hasn't done so at all. Like right before Mario Odyssey came out, but it hasn't done so, and I'm thinking that Mario Odyssey is probably going to be in my hands around the 25th or 26th of October, and at that point I'll obviously start recording videos and whatever else for it. I haven't fully decided about what type of content I want to do for Mario Party yet. I'm gonna play all the minigames, but if there's no map board system, I really would like a collaborative, like, sort of clash crossover sort of thing between all the games, where there's different boards from different games, or whatever one Nintendo felt like was, you know, the best boards out of all the games that are including here. But I don't think they're gonna do that. I think it'll just be minigames, and yeah, I haven't really read into it too much. I have, however, read the list of Mario Party, and I'm not impressed for the most part of all the minigames that are in there. Like, and the beat goes on, and what was the other one? Honeycomb Havoc is in there, and they're terrible minigames, and I'm like, this is not a top 100. They should have given it to fans to, you know, get it over with. And I would have made a much better Mario Party top 100 list, I guess, than what Nintendo have done so far. I don't really understand the ones that they have picked. Maybe they're going to tweak them a little bit, but it's pretty dumb. roll count is actually in there as well for Mario Party 2. I hate that thing. And so is what is it called? Mecha Marathon, where you mash A and B simultaneously, or is it alternatively? I can't remember. With the Shy Guys to wind up for stupid, like, your characters wind up a Shy Guy toy, and the Shy Guy flies across the meters. It's like 100-meter or something track that it goes along. And it's only really possible to get like 40-something meters humanly. Humanly possible, that is. But it is a very difficult minigame, and I can't imagine that being very fun on a 3DS with the tiny buttons. I don't really know why they didn't put it on the Switch, to be honest. I think it would have been a much better Switch game than a 3DS game, but I think they're trying to fill out a lot of content. The Kirby game, however, has a single-player campaign, and I played the... What one was it called? Return to Dreamland on my old channel, and it was extremely successful in terms of viewership, and I think I'm going to be doing that, the new Kirby game when it comes out also. It comes out in Europe first, which is strange. It doesn't come out in North America until January, but it comes out in Europe in November, and I'm like, this is fantastic. But in the nature of the 3DS market now, most people have a region-free modified 3DS, and I think a lot of people will be playing the game also, even if they're American. But here is, I believe this one's Morton, and we're going to be doing Super Spin Bros to get the item from him, as we normally do when we initiate a battle. I messed it up in this recording, so I'm going to have to do it a second time. But I'm going to use Luigi to try and lower his defense here. I don't think the attribute actually happens, from what I remember. Yeah, he doesn't get affected by it, which kind of sucks. I only get 65 into it, so it means that we're going to have to additionally do more damage here. What you're actually meant to do for that attack is you're meant to press A then B, but I'm pressing them simultaneously because I'm just not paying attention to it properly. But you can see Mario is only doing like 42 damage and stuff to him, and it's not great for what it is. We're gonna do Super Cyclone Bros because it's basically we're not doing a lot of damage to him anyway, so we might as well use our strongest attack to get out of the way. I don't even know like who the more popular Nintendo channels that people watch are nowadays. Obviously, like I guess one of them now, since Chris is like off doing his Twitch thing or something. But he's on Twitch like streaming most of the time instead of doing Be Right to Play because he's not part of that anymore. Same with Tyler, who's also a friend of mine from that channel. He did the same thing. He left that channel. I think Sully, like, he still does his own thing, but I think he's trying to like focus on both his main channel and a secondary channel where he uploads like non-commentary gameplay videos. And I think it's mostly his brother that does that work, from what I can tell. I haven't spoken to Sully in quite some time. I really should get back in touch. We spoke last year about his Paper Mario videos. If you watch those, the original Paper Mario and the N64, his color correction was like really bad because of Virtual Console, and I told him to like fix it and give him the settings to correct it and stuff like that. I think that's when he decided to get a video editor because it was becoming a little bit too much to do as many projects as he wanted at once, so he started to pay someone to do video editing. It's not something I have ever really thought about, like in a serious manner, to get someone to do the video editing. If this channel blew up to like having 100,000 subs or something, I'd consider it. I have friends and stuff like that that are technically competent, but I'm sure if I said, look, I'll give you, you know, some money if you help me out with these videos and manage to upload them and stuff like that. I feel like I'm very technically competent at video editing and stuff like that, though, where I don't really need someone to help me. My only problem is, it's kind of ironic given what I said about like helping Sully with color correction, is that I'm colorblind. But I have difficulties with blues and purples, but I can tell the difference from like what is a picture on my right and a picture on my left, if that makes sense, like from the Virtual Console to the original game, and how different they look. I just try and match them up that way. That sort of color correction I can do, but if it's color correction with a single image with no comparison, I can't really do it very well, just because my eyes see the colors pretty differently. It's kind of something I'm not kind of comfortable telling a lot of people most of the time, is that like people that don't have that, they don't really understand like what it's like to have that sort of, I want to call it a disability, but it's not really. It doesn't hinder me in any way. It just means I can't do like bomb defusal sort of jobs or whatever. But a lot of people in life have it, and I'm sure you'll find that most males have at least a little bit of it, if not like are fully blown like color difficulty, where they can't really differentiate colors very easily. It's a hereditary gene that skips a generation, from what I'm told. So my grandfather on my mom's side had it, but my dad didn't have it, and my mom didn't have it. And from what I know, my mom's siblings didn't have it. It only really ever affects males. It's very rare that a female gets it, and it's very strange that like that's a thing, but it's just part of human biology, I guess. That's the case. Like, it's really annoying actually, but it's something that like I can't really do. And if I had to do it for my videos without any sort of comparison to an original game or like an original version of it, I wouldn't be able to do it very easily. And I'm sure I'd look into it more as like time went on, if this channel blew up at all, to getting like assistance or help externally for the video editing sort of stuff. But this video here, with the audio corruption that happened, I'm not really sure what I would have done, because they would have told me, hey, this audio file's corrupt, what do you want to do about it? Like, if I got a video editor, and I would have been like, crap, I'm gonna have to you know, do post commentary over it. There's no choice here. And that's fine. Like, what I'm doing right now is 50 minutes of my time, but isn't really that big of a deal, because 50 minutes means that, you know, progress is made in the playthrough and everything else. And 50 minutes isn't that like big of a hindrance. It's something that if you're doing something like this, 50 minutes of your time is nothing. Like, if you're making a video, then that's great. Like, if you're able to spare 50 minutes to make it better. I could have like uploaded this without any commentary, and it probably wouldn't have the same sort of effect, you know? Like, it just wouldn't be great. So this order here seems completely random. I originally thought it was always the top one regardless, but that wasn't the case, and I had to edit out a few failed attempts to make sure that that this Koopa battle actually started without, you know, being a ridiculous amount of time spent trying to hit him in the head. Lemmy, however, is actually one of the more annoying Koopalings. You have to pay attention to where he goes when he spins around. It's not very difficult, but it is kind of time consuming to pay attention to. And you also basically have to think about him more than, you know, your actual attack patterns and stuff. So I'm basically just focusing on attacking him here, and I'm paying attention to the one that is real whenever he spins around. So he spins around again, and I think it's the front one that's real. Obviously my gameplay knows better than I do, but I'm watching the video back at 30 frames instead of 60. And obviously that's half a frame rate that the video is actually being displayed here. But yeah, the front one was the correct one. And we're just going to do maximum damage to him. And progress from there, and rinse and repeat until he's eventually dead. Like, he doesn't do much, he just kind of spits fireballs at you and does this. There's a much better, or a much harder version of this battle later with Wendy, who's basically an upgraded version of this fight. And Wendy is a lot harder in some regards. If there's a little bit of like a distraction in my voice throughout that battle, it was the fact that the cat was trying to get my attention, and she was being very difficult about it. So as of right now, we're roughly around about halfway through this video. We're going to be continuing on here. And I guess, like, to fill up parts where I don't really need to explain anything. Like here, I'm using the water to get rid of the fire. I can't use the lowest section there because it looks like it's in line with the blocks, so I couldn't make it across here. But if, like, I'm not really sure what the priority games are for people this year. Would you like to see Kirby? Would you like to see the Mario Party Top 100? Would you like to see Mario Odyssey? That's a given anyway because I'm going to play it regardless. In Pokemon, like, I'm probably going to get it early also. And I don't really know how Game Freak treat being early. Here, I couldn't like stand in see the line that's going on before here. There's like a gap where all the red kind of lines are, where you're meant to stand to hit the mouse when it goes by, like that, to make it electrified. And I couldn't align it at first. It was being kind of annoying. So I edited out the going back and forth to get a water to open up the door with the failed sort of attempts. You can do it in one go with the water, obviously, but if you miss once, then you do have to go back at least once and get more water. In here, you need more water to make the piranha plants grow. We did this at the airport, so we do know what is required here. We're meant to use Tickle with Luigi to tickle Mario to make him spit up all the water that turns the piranha plant into a fully grown piranha plant and then spits up the exclamation mark box. You do not want to touch the one on the right. The one on the right has a enemy instead of it. The one on the left, however, does open up the door. But yeah, I think I'm gonna play Top 100, like just out of my own curiosity because I grew up with a lot of the Mario parties and I've played a lot of them with friends more recently. And with Kirby, like, I think it's a popular game. Everybody seems to love Kirby. I liked Return to Dreamland, and I'm willing to play the new Kirby Battle Royale game. And here with Luigi, I'm focusing on avoiding him here. This whole section is one of my most hated things in this game. I hate this progression to the actual battle. He tries to attack you, and you eventually get clipped like that if you're not fully paying attention, and then you have to do it all over again. It's really, really irritating. The reason I left that clip of me failing in there is because like, you basically have to get an impression of how annoying this can be. And with Luigi, you just have to basically jump as close to the shell as possible, because for some reason I felt like it was more likely for me to fail with Luigi than it was with Mario. Maybe it's something to do with his height and his hitbox being bigger than Mario. But yeah, when you try and run away from Ludwig von Koopa, he basically, or Ludwig von Koopa I should say, he like challenges you to fight. In this battle here, you just want to keep Mario alive. Don't try and focus on Luigi. I hate this battle. Like, it's a nightmare to hit all the fireballs. I think it's horrendous the way that the buttons are laid out for this. Like A and B are so close, so small, that it's basically much easier to focus on Mario to hit the big magic ball back at Ludwig von Koopa. So it does 999 if it hits you when it lands, then it blows you all up. Or it does 999 to you and Luigi. If it hits him, then it does 999 to him and kills him off. And with him defeated, I think there's only 2 more Koopalings to go through. Roy and Wendy. I cut out that there because I had a distraction when I did the original recording of the cat being a pain. I'm sure you heard her meow a moment ago. But yeah, that's generally my life at the moment. I get distracted via an animal interfering with trying to record. I never really had this problem for the past year and a half. I lived by myself, no animals sort of thing. And I like just never had distractions. And now it's like I have an animal, a young one, and it likes to distract me. When I did Skyward Sword and stuff like that years ago, I had family distractions. I never had animal distractions because my cat back then, different cat entirely, like she would never disturb me, like by meowing or whatever. She would just kind of like jump up into my lap and not like make any noise, to just be quiet, and I could continue the recording from that point on. But my new cat, she's pretty loud when she wants something. But I think she'll grow out of it with age, hopefully. And hopefully she'll be less of a distraction. And hopefully it's not that big of a deal whenever you do hear her in a video. Because, like, it's just a reassurance thing that I'm a person and have my own life sort of thing also, and my own problems. And it's not like perfection is a thing that can be, you know, acquired just by the means of not having any sort of environment. I could kick her out of the room, but, like, I kick her out of the room when she gets really annoying. But not normally when she just kind of wants to explore. For creatures where they should not be restricted in where they can go in their own living environment, especially when normally they can go into a room. But maybe I shouldn't after the capture card disaster. Maybe I shouldn't let her in here at all. But the capture card seems fine now. I took out the cart and everything and cleaned it up, thinking, oh god, what happens if it's the game? But thankfully, like, even then, if the game was the problem, the game is out now, so I could have just went and bought another copy of it if I had another issue. And here we're meant to take OBG under the ground and go around the left hand side and hit the switch on the left there to make Mario come out and be able to go through the maze himself in Mini Mario to hit the last switch, which will open up the door in the back there. So there's that coin box up there, but I'm not gonna hit it because it's a waste of my time, and we don't really even need coins anymore. It's pointless for us to even like care about coins at this point in the game. You are about 40 minutes away from the end of the game, and it's totally pointless to even care about coins. So we're gonna go through here after returning Mario to normal. And through in this section we have another sort of puzzle area which leads into a 2D platformer sort of area. I like to pride myself on my performance in 2D platforming, but in this game in particular, Mario feels much more loose, I guess. He isn't as like tight in terms of his jumping, and it's pretty nightmarish to actually control at points. But we're gonna show that off in a moment. So I'm gonna jump over here, and there was a boo, and I get caught by it. But when I get caught by the boo, I just run away, so I can end up like maintaining on this platform because I didn't fully leave the actual platform yet. But I messed that up, and I want that item box, so I make my way back up again and we get a 1-up super, which they're actually really beneficial. You want these items if you can ever find one, especially for the last boss if you're going to have difficulty with it. It basically restores you back to maximum health from a death. And we're meant to take our little mini Mario over here into this like 2D side scrolling section and jump across all of here. And avoid all the fireballs. And through this section here, you just want to hop over that one. And up to this point here, and you can't get up here normally, but there's two blocks there. You can see it when like they bob up and down, and the way that you get to them is by going along the right hand path where you wouldn't think that it's just going to take you to a progressionary point, but there's a point where you can jump back and go over the top, kind of like in a Mario 3 type of level, or even a Mario 1 type of level, where you could go above the ceiling and along the top to find something secret, as if it was like a warp pipe zone in Mario 1, or a like flute container in the first fortress in Mario 3. You kind of get what I'm saying if it's a given thing. Mario 3 is like one of my favorite games of all time. That game is incredible. It's so well designed, and there isn't many parts of it I don't like. I think there's one level in Ice World that I really don't like, And then there's a level in World 8 that I don't like as well. But the rest of it's fine, like, great game. If you've never played it before, I'd highly recommend checking out Mario 3. I'm sure there's people that watch videos like this that are too young or whatever to have experienced Mario 3. Even if you get the Game Boy Advance version, like, experience the game. It is an incredible game, but I'd recommend playing it on the All-Stars version on the Super Nintendo because the game looks prettier, so newer kids they can kind of handle the graphics a bit better, and the game itself like sounds better because it's on the Super Nintendo audio chip instead of the chip that was in the NES, which had 8-bit everything. Although the 8-bit version is great too. If you can get either one of them, then it's fantastic. But Mario 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. I would recommend it to anybody. So this section here has the simultaneous blocks that you need to hit. And basically need to line up Mario and Luigi and press X to make them jump at the same time. And you gotta lead Luigi back here to hit this one. And then hit these two with both bros aligned. And then Mario needs to be the one further along up here, like that. And then Roy is gonna get mad at us. We're gonna go up here and challenge him, but he'll run off before we even manage to fight him here. And we're gonna go through the portal and just progress as if nothing happened. So it's like whatever. We're not gonna worry about it too much. And I think I had to check something there in the actual gameplay. HP and BP fully restored for this battle here because Roy turns up and he's pretty mad about us and wants to battle us. So this new mechanic is introduced where if a bomb is gonna hit 0, and if a bomb hits 0, then it does 99 damage to us and we lose the battle instantly. So we're gonna knock the item out of Roy. And there we go. We've knocked the item out of him, done 75 damage to him with the spin, and one additional hit with the other one to do 127. And then I'm going to focus on attacking with Super Cyclone Bros to do maximum damage to him with Luigi's strongest attack. Which does a total of 171. But you can hit back his fireballs when he attacks you to do more damage. And we're gonna try and focus on hitting him with Swing Bros, which for some reason does more damage than Super Swing Bros. Does 241 with a lucky hit. And he's already in rage mode. You can defeat Roy before he does this attack sometimes. I don't really know why he does it immediately when he goes into rage mode, but sometimes you can actually beat him before he manages to get a turn to do this. It's not that big of a deal even if he does use it, because he's close to death and you can do stuff like Super Cyclone Bros again to do even more damage to him and finish him off. And there you go, he's got a dizzy state applied to him now too, which means he is basically missing a turn, and I get to spam attacks on him to do the maximum sort of damage that I can do to him. So I'm going to do the Swing Bros again to do more damage, hopefully another 200 hit. 179 is what the default hit was there. So again I'm going to do Super Cyclone Bros. And 178, and he's dead. So there's a good, I don't know, 15 minutes left of the video. There's one upcoming battle that is a bit of a pain to get through. Also, you shouldn't worry about game overing in this game because unlike the original, if you game over, you have an option to start from where you were, whilst in the original it would send you back to the last time you saved. So I need to get Luigi in his barrel, and you actually need to stand on the platform with the barrel to shrink Luigi, because the tiling that I'm standing on normally does not allow me to use this ability. But we need Mario to get up here to hit this. There's also 2 item boxes back here that I think have an Ultra Mushroom and a 1-up Super instead of it. Maximum Mushroom, sorry. And an Ultra Syrup, never mind. And you can get those and then have to do the barrel thing again to get back up to the higher platform. And with that done, we go into, I think this is the last area that you go into to fight a Koopaling. But we need to hit Luigi under the barrel here, so it reset the room to reset the enemy actions, like so they weren't closer to me than what they should have been. We need to use Luigi to hit this switch here, and then jump back down with Mario and take the barrel through the door into this section here, to then light up this section. So these torches need to be active for Mario and Luigi to be able to battle the next Koopaling. So we're gonna light up this one too. We can go through this door now. So I need to take Mario down from the barrel, break Luigi out of the barrel because it's not really required anymore, and then go through this section. Now this section is another tickle puzzle. You remember these from the beach area of the game. We can navigate across here into this section. I don't really know why they put 3 blocks here. It's kind of pointless when you think about it. Like obviously you're gonna have the Ultra Hammer when you're at this point in the game. You wouldn't be able to get here without it anyway. You wouldn't be able to get through Joke's End. So I don't really know why they put the blocks in the way. Maybe just to distract you and be annoying. But here, you gotta kind of be careful to get across. I tried to move too quickly there. You can make it across in one go, but the way that the game wants you to do it is by going down back to where you were originally, and then with the new direction that the spike logs are rolling, use tickle again to get into the new door that's opened up. And if you hit this switch, it just resets it to go back the other way. I don't really know why you would want to go back the other way, but it's a switch, and it's there if you need it. So we need high to even get up here in the first place. And Windy is here, and the way that you need to start this battle is that you need to separate both bros by hitting Luigi under the thing, and then Luigi goes up through here into this section and stands next to this pipe, and we take Mario all the way up here and hit this one, and we switch over to Luigi. We're going to use the hammer immediately, but obviously I was a little bit slow there, so we're going to use Mario's hammer, then switch to Luigi, and then hit Luigi's hammer, and then she goes to the middle pipe and you attack her from here. Now, if you've played Super Mario World, you'll notice that that's a callback to Super Mario World when you had to hit her, the real her, it was like her and like 2 dummy doll things out of the pipes when you battled her in her fortress in Super Mario World, and that's basically like a callback to that, where you have to hit her out of a pipe to, you know, actually do any sort of damage to her. But we are gonna focus on the real version of her. So you basically just need to pay attention to her at all given times. And we hit all of them obviously by doing Super Fibros there, but we did 87 to the real her. And she brings back her clones. I mean, you just pay attention to where she really goes. It's like the Lemmy Koopa battle that we had earlier. She also has this attack, and I completely forgot that this attack existed when we were doing this battle. If you're not paying attention to the order that they come in, like if that is around Vibrosen, then you will have to deal with them and probably take damage from them like I did. But the bomb is also here, if you haven't noticed, in the bottom right hand corner on the top screen. The bomb's here, so you do have 7 turns to be able to defeat Wendy, and it is very possible. In fact, I think it's very difficult to not do it. That's the thing. But again, we're going to focus on the real her with Super Swing Bros, or Swing Bros I should say, to hit her here. And then she gets faster than Lemmy ever did, and you have to focus on her also. And I was like a little bit too late on the jump spare, or too early I should say, on the jump spare to avoid Wendy's attacks. But it doesn't matter too much, like, she doesn't do that much damage. And you can just heal. If you don't have a lot of items at this point in the game, then that's kind of your own fault, I guess. Like, you should have got more items. But yeah, just fall over real her. Again, she's the top one this time. Again, I was too early on a lot of situations here. So, 5 turns left on the bomb. And I'm gonna use a max amount to heal both Mario and Luigi. And then with Luigi's turn, we're gonna hit her with another Bros attack. Same one as we're kind of rinse and repeating here. $178, and I think this is like her last hit, I'm pretty sure. She's the front top one at this point. Yeah, there we go, she's dead. With that, her clones disappear too, and the bomb goes off, and we get a golden mushroom from defeating her. 2 level ups, so we're at 41 each. I can't remember what I gave stats to in this scenario. I think I went through all of them and ended up giving it to either HP or defense. I'm pretty sure I might have given it to defense in the end. Yeah, 171. And then with Luigi, I can't remember. I think health is what I gave it to in the end. Or POW, never mind. 181. See, I don't remember what stats I pick either. I just kind of pick whatever one's the high roller that may be beneficial for a later scenario. And with final boss, you do want both health and POW available to you, and kind of a lot of defense also. So again, I took a little bit of a break for a distraction here, so I had to make a little bit of an editing adjustment. And I ended up having a little bit of a problem with the commentary. This is where I noticed the file was corrupt, so I just thought, oh, I guess I'm playing the rest of the game and doing post commentary. That's what that little transition was there. And I flew across here when I shouldn't have, and the boos are a unique enemy that we haven't really shown off yet, so I felt like I should show it off when we can. And I stupidly, don't ever do this, use fire on the sniper bill. And the sniper bill actually recovers health from fire. Go figure. Never knew that. But he recovered like no health because he didn't actually get a counter hit beginning on him. So he's still at maximum health from the original hit. But the boos, they attack you and they take your movements away from you. So like they take either Bros moves or hammer or jump away from the characters that you're playing as, Mario and Luigi. So like here, I think she takes jump away from Luigi, and then this one doesn't take anything, but Luigi now can't jump on them, but Mario can still. But now that I killed the one that took jump away from Luigi, he gets jump back, and with that the boo is defeated. And there's a bean down here that I collected, even though it's kind of pointless at this point in the game to even get beans. There's a panel here that you can hit with a yellow orb that you can hit to make a platform appear. And then we open up this door, and Kamek was a little bit cheeky and threw a fireball during a cutscene where I couldn't move. In this section here, you're meant to use Mario Luigi to dash through all the destructible wall tiles. And then this whole section here is another sort of puzzle for Mario and Luigi to figure out. It's similar to the Joke Sand puzzle where you make Luigi go underneath the blocks and you jump with Mario and push Mario up into the next section here. So we jump with Mario with X and then move back to Luigi, laying Luigi underneath it again, and then we jump up with Mario and repeat until we get to the top here and hit the switch. And the switch goes and makes platforms across the lava for Mario and Luigi, and we're gonna cross the lava. Need to switch back to Mario to make them team up again, obviously. And make Mario turn back into his normal self so we can use high to get up into the next section of the castle. So I believe this is like the second to last section that we're gonna go for here. We're nearing the end of the video, and I appreciate anybody that's watched the 55 minutes of this footage here, but we're obviously going to fight Larry in the next video right before the battle begins, or you know, right before the end of the video. Before the end of the series, is what I meant to say. Larry, then we fight Belletta, and then we fight the final boss. I'm getting a little bit tongue-tied. I guess it's because I've been talking for 50 minutes. Actually, we fight him now. I couldn't remember if I left him in or not during the editing. But anyway, him, like, he's a unique little enemy, this guy. He gets 5 turns to attack him, so you get 5 turns to actually beat him up. Whatever else, we're gonna focus on defeating him now, but we're getting close to the end of the video. This fight must be very, very short. I can't remember what actually happened at the end of the video. But yeah, we take his aim from him in the beginning here. I've always liked Larry's hairstyle. Like, it's different to any of the other Koopas. He just looks a bit more crazy than all the others. Defense goes down. And then he does like the tennis attack here. He thinks he's Andy Murray, like playing tennis with Mario. We counterattack him, do 165 back to him. Got 4 turns left on the bomb. And we're gonna focus on doing swing bros to him. With his defense down, we should be doing over 200 damage to him. 215, I think that was. He's in rage mode already. He's going back to doing his Andy Murray technique. There we go. And back to 149 damage. It should have done more with our defense down, I feel. But we're going to do Super Cyclone Bros, and hopefully this will be the end of Larry Koopa. I didn't really mash very fast there, so I guess I passed up a lot of situations, and I missed the finale hit. 3 turns left on the bomb. I don't think it gets to like 2 or 1. I think it ends at this turn here. 204 with a hit, and that's Larry Koopa dead. $935, it's P per bro, and we're moving on here. And in the next video, we'll be taking on Belletta and the final boss after Belletta. A bit of a spoiler there, but I'm sure many of you have played this game before, and if you haven't, then like typically in Nintendo games you get 2 final bosses, it's not just one fight, especially in RPGs or RPG style games like Zelda games, for example. Anyway, in the next room, I'll be wrapping up this video, so thank you very much for watching, and see you guys next time on the next part of Mario Luigi Superstar Saga for the Nintendo 3DS, where we wrap up the rest of the game.